Good morning. Thought I'd take you on a cruise down my page while I give you my little morning talk. I was thinking this morning, because of my FBI file that I opened on these people, I was listening to a Veterans Today recording, and I have about 10 minutes left on that. Where did it go? I don't know right now. Just a second. Let me shut that one. Yeah, here it is. This is reminiscent of Colonel Fletcher Prouty. Go on the Colonel Fletcher Prouty reference. I believe it's a .org, but just type in a search box Fletcher Prouty, Prouty, and there's a video. When you go to the sidebar on the left, I believe, go down to video or media, where click that, and there's a video on there. I've shared it before. How back during the Vietnam War, uh, there was a group formed called the League of Families. I had to think a minute. The League of Families, because of all these KIA, MIA, and the insurance that was being scammed, that if they were not listed as KIA, the families more than likely would keep paying the insurance on them, their life insurance policy, personal policies. And as long as the insurance companies were getting payments for insurance policies, whether the person was dead or not, see, that's where the corruption comes in. They didn't have to pay out the policy to cash it in. They wouldn't cash them in for the families. Plus, if they were listed as MIA, there were nobody asking. Well, some were, though. They just didn't cash out the policies for the families. So, anyway, this thing here I found, I believe I first saw it yesterday, and then I got it again today. The Ukrainian army is hiding the huge number of dead soldiers in pits covered by mines and burning them in incinerators so they can just say they're missing. Hello, MIA, so they never pay death benefits to the widows and mothers. See, remind you of anybody, like maybe how the U.S. treats our soldiers like trash, but gives illegals tax refunds for taxes they never paid. Well, more than that last thing there, like I was saying, on the Colonel Prouty website, why don't I just go there real quick so you'll know where I'm talking about to go to. Prouty reference is what I'm typing, and there it popped up first thing. See, I've been there, and it's here's the link up here, prouty.org, and then you go over here to video, and it's always kind of a challenge for me to figure out which one it is, but I will. I think he's wearing a blue shirt in this one right here. MIA in Vietnam problem explained. Why did wives and sisters of U.S. servicemen have to start up an organization? I might as well tell you right there, it's a League of Families, to search for the U.S. troops and not the military. So then you click on his picture, because there's not an actual link otherwise to click. And I love this website, and he's rest in peace now, is what I read. So, rest in peace, Colonel Fletcher Prouty. And see down here, whoops, it is loading, so it's Windows Media, WMP, for Windows Media Player. and I didn't really want to. I can cancel it because I've heard it. But I wanted to show you to where I was talking about. You click on video on the side. Then when you do, from the page before this, and then come to this one where he's in this blue shirt. And in the archive video, it's the third one down. So that's the one that talks about kind of like what they were talking about over here on this. Well, it's on before it's news.com about the dead Ukrainian cover-up mass graves, cremation, organ harvesting of bodies. And I did post this on a note this morning under organ harvesting right here. See if you go up a little bit. Organ trafficking, I mean. It's also called organ farming or organ harvesting. But I find quite a few of those, and I bring them over here and stick them on that. But none of that was what I came on here for this morning, specifically. It's about the file that I mentioned, turning the step monster over for fraud, because it dawned on me after I woke up from my nap the other day, all those lies amount to fraud. So why not turn the whole thing in as fraud? So I did. I know it's taking my chances. Here's how I used my find box when I had to find this organ trafficking site. Okay. I had to figure the internet out and how to use my computer by myself. So I sometimes will pass on a tip to other people. But big fraud. And also, while I'm thinking of it, I've got like 10 minutes left on, yeah, just a little, about 10 minutes of this Veterans Today radio, 212-15, Stu Webb, Gordon Duff. And they were talking about this whole thing can be taken apart with a RICO. RICO suit will bring it down. Guess just got to find the right way to put it together and the right person to do so. You know, that in the background, that's my ice maker. I've been running it so I can have a couple of Ziploc bags in the freezer full of little ice cubes. They're the hollow kind, but at least it's ice. And I don't have to have those sloppy trays in my freezer, and then I get in a hurry and I drip it all over the stuff below it, and so I don't have that much extra room where I had 2 trays stacked for, maybe a couple of packs of sausage or bacon or something. Something more useful. Ice is useful, but I've got other things too, so. Alright, so I was thinking along this morning, drinking my coffee. Had to run the mini washer for my son and his girlfriend. All the things, and I had left out this one, and I always do that. It's so much. It's just so overwhelming. And I'm sorry, it's called backtracking. But to get it all in there, I have to. Why did they send her back home on the school bus if they truly believed an emergency existed there that put her life in danger? They had taken her from the school ground, and I read somewhere they don't have to ask. But then I heard several other places that they do have to ask the parents to speak to their child. Took her off, had her examined. That was also in the file I got, 97. But the thing is that there was such a big threat with a mad and crazy 2,100 times, 2 to 3 times a day rapist in the house after she got home from school, why would they send her back home on the school bus? That doesn't make any good sense. Denise Worrey, Maria Mittelhauser, whoever else was balled up in this crap, where's the sense in that? Were you trying to get her hurt by sending her back into the school? I'm calling you out on it right now. I'm calling you on the carpet about this right now. Why did they send her home on the school bus if she's going to get raped 2 or 3 more times before she decides to talk to the real cops? Because the real cops were there. If you would remember, if you would use your damned eyes, I called them on her, about her, in the fall of 1993, shortly after the school year began. And they were there a good 10 or 15 minutes. And John Myers and I were there with them. We stood in the hallway while they were in full view of her and she was in full view of them. And she had nothing to say about no 2 to 3 times a day rape. She didn't say, hey, guess what? I never saw a cop car before. Could I step out there and look at that thing? I'm awful interested. I'm curious. I want to see what that thing looks like. Well, sure. Come on out and take a look at our fantastic cop car. It's cool. But no. Came home on the school bus. Not wired. If she had been wired, I might understand it. If there was a van parked across the street, listening in, ready to bust down the door in case something went haywire. You all are what's haywire. Denise Worrey, Maria Milhauser. I shouldn't have said a prayer for Maria, I don't guess. Should have let her die when she had that crash. But no, I said a prayer. I think she ought to be held responsible for her crap. And when my dad and I went down to her office to ask questions about that letter, she claimed she never even saw it. So how do you explain that one? You didn't even see it? Huh? You're investigating and you're not taking a look at what's been submitted as evidence and accepted by the court as evidence? What the hell? I've never seen such stupid people in my life. And this is just one example of total stupidity. Thank God people are starting to wake up to that. But it's probably too late because of the hold that the terrorists have on this country already. All those terrorist training camps. Whoever's in bed with who in this, whoever's in this damn mess with them, allowing it, man oh man. But let's try to get this thing back on the bus, shall we? It's been thrown under the bus so many times. It's just incredible. I'm down to 14 minutes anyway. Let's keep this in mind. Karen Julia Myers Toe got willingly back on the school bus, didn't even put up a fight. Social workers, please don't make me go back to the crazy rapist house. I'm scared. Walls is right in the front door, no wire. But there's supposedly an imminent threat that required immediate removal. Sedalia, I'm not shocked. I'm pissed. Next video.